Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Talking Skritt. I'm your host John, better known as Dale. We're on Yak Spin with a fantastic show for you. Welcome back to Guild Wars 2 Week 3. A new mount is coming and gave us a little bit of tiny bit more information on that. Physical Guild Wars 2 ads have been spotted and much more, but first I'm going to introduce you to my fellow hosts. He is a moderator over at MMO Champion and hosts of Zero to Hero and also Vote to Kick on this very channel with the release, and also Chronicles of Florida Man. So many more things coming. With the release of the newest mount skin, maybe we will see more unorthodox skins, possibly one of a bovine nature. But would he throw his money ball at it and end up buying the cow skin? Say hello to Jim.
I swear, you get more and more creative with movie titles every week.
Honestly, I saw that movie title, Buying the Cow. I was like, I have to figure out how to get this in there. I don't think I'll ever get a chance to put it in again.
Reynolds or Pratt? That's
Reynolds. I don't even know anymore.
Wow. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. Like the hummingbird looks pretty cool. I'm okay with that. So.
And he streams over on Twitch where he answers the age-old question. Since someone broke down what you could earn in PvP, is ArenaNet paying people to play PvP? Say hello to Age.
Pay me. That's all I gotta say. Hi, welcome.
I was gonna say, you can't afford me.
It would cost a lot to get you into PvP.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it would be a high price to get me into PvP. I'm just not a PvP person. Nothing against Guild Wars 2 itself.
What if they said they bring Abaddon into the main storyline?
I might have to take that bullet for everyone. To give them some of the best story ever in the history of gaming itself.
That was so easy. Oh, man.
True. There you go, Arena. You got my price. Oh, if Abaddon's only in PvP, I would cry. I would weep.
No, you have to do living story. That way he actually has to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that might take me too far. I might be like, that's it. I quit. That's not cool. But all right, let us jump right into it. So, we've been seeing we've had lots in the past attempts at marketing Guild Wars 2, and some have been kind of a miss. Like, you know, I'm sure a lot of people love the meme of and all that stuff, but but yeah, Guild Wars 2 is taking another crack at marketing, and it seems like some people are actually, I don't know, it seems like it's kind of split. Like, we have ones that are definitely people are excited for and think are good, some that are kind of middle ground, and I think some that are like, you know, which I will definitely go over it, but it's kind of their new push of I think they have a new Welcome to Guild Wars 2 page, which it kind of touts the 11 million players strong, which, you know, once again, and I think we say this with like other games when we talk about it outside or on, you know, in the Discord and all that stuff, and it's like, I think that's the most, unfortunately, the most misleading thing is like 11 million players strong. That's probably active or activated accounts.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was first curious about. Is this isn't active players, because I think the most I think WoW was the most active in at least 2000, actually of all time, probably.
Peak of Wrath of the Lich King was 15 million total.
Yeah,
active.
Yeah, and that's when they start, like, after that, like, because I don't know, at that point it was always like 15 million subscribers or something, but now they're starting to switch to,
they stopped,
you know,
they stopped reporting.
Just entirely.
Everyone just stopped reporting entirely. I think when they dropped around 7 million, I think,
because the MMO bubble burst. So
yeah, but 11 million accounts is not a bad thing either. It's a lot of accounts people get.
And I think that's what a lot of people were making jokes at, and when you go to that Welcome to GW2 page, and I think it's just welcome. If I'm not mistaken, welcome.guildwars2.com. It kind of gives like a little bit of a breakdown. Like, I think it was like how many like new characters are created, because I know some people made that joke of like, oh, and most like 90% of these are key farming characters, like haha, you know. It's, but I mean,
Yeah.
we have seen an uptick on like the, I think the forums and like definitely Reddit, where people are like, oh, I'm new to the game, I'm returning to the game. It's like,
Yeah.
so
I mean, still, like, if you sold 11 million copies, or just have 11 million accounts in Guild Wars 2, that's pretty decent, I'd say. Even if half of them don't like play or are alt accounts, it's still
You
pretty
still
good.
got people to play. Like
Yeah,
you
you
still
still
got
got
people who
number.
can get the game, or at least set it up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, here are some of the ones people have posted. I think the one on the left is New York City, and the one on the right is LA. But you can see them like putting up posters and stuff like that of advertisements of, you know, this whole 11 million player strong and like try out Guild Wars 2.
This is
So do you?
LA as in Los Angeles, not Lions Arch, by the way.
I did see
A
some
lot of-
people thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You have some like different profession posters, and then you have I think the New York one had the 11 million strong banner that was going across. That's pretty cool.
Now, do you guys like this kind of like? Because I know a lot of people are like, why are they like peppering it like literally one right after the other? Like, would you like to see it more sparse or?
It's like old school marketing,
it's like
right?
old movie or play posters.
Yeah, but they're putting it in like big cities.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So where a lot of people walk past or like drive past, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's not a bad thing at all.
And honestly, when you see the repetition of the logo, it's going to catch your eye more than a single poster sitting there would. Not necessarily. It's just where we're starting, Mac.
Yeah, and I mean, this is like important. This is driving, hopefully bringing more people in. But I think a lot of people are excited about this. Actually, want to see more in like their, you know, cities and whatnot. I know some people were saying London, some people were saying on the outskirts of London, stuff like that. So I would like to see them actually branch out into not just, you know, the U.S.
How
which
do ads like this work in Europe? Do you know?
I was to say that might be some of the things that might be holding it up is, you know, if how much are they allowed to put on or.
Mm-hmm.
But I know a lot of people are saying like put it on buses and stuff like that, which
that can be expensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
That can be very expensive.
I think I read one suggestion was that for New York there was like a digital ad thing that they can do for the subways, or
yeah, because they replaced the ad space with screens.
Oh, okay.
So
that's probably pricey too. But
yeah, you'd think they'd be able to sell, you know, more, so it wouldn't be as costly. But no, they're just going to sell it as if you had the single ad poster there the entire time.
Yeah. Well, you know it'll work because they'll probably do it again if like maybe in like next expansion post more things.
Well, and that's what a lot of people were thinking, like, is this a lead up to some kind of big announcement because they're doing this? I know I heard some people speculating on, and I do want to kind of debunk it here, but speculating on, I guess at kind of their most recent conventions, they've been noticing ArenaNet staff with the ArenaNet logo that was in blue, which people were like, oh, maybe this is a hint at, you know, maybe an ice, you know, the Northern Shiver Peaks like expansion or something like that announcement or some sort. But a lot of people have said that has been a staff type shirt for a long time, like many, you know, months in advance. Like
if there was a new expansion, there would be a different logo. There has been a different logo for every single expansion. The 2 was release. Heart of Thorns had the circle, and then Path of Fire looks like a tornado.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it would be a completely new logo entirely if they were trying to hint at anything new.
Also, were these like different? What convention was the scene at?
I think people were claiming at the most recent one, which I think would have been the London one.
Okay, because I wondered if the European staff has different colored shirts. I don't know.
I don't know, but I know people were actually responding saying like they've had these shirts for many times in advance, like it's not. It's just I think people are mentioning it.
Okay. Is
And
it a good way? Yeah, that's a good question.
yeah, and
Sorry.
we'll actually look at that for each of them. Like, do you like this aspect of the fit? I get let's call it the physical advertising of putting posters out. Do you think this is gonna reach? And
I don't see why not.
From my understanding, this is kind of like a test run, and they're doing it in bigger cities in the U.S., which makes sense to do a test run for, and seeing the conversion rate, they can like see if it was like worth the marketing or not, and they can invest more into it. That's what I see from this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this. Posters and ad space are not as expensive as you would think. Like stuff like this, it's not as expensive as people would think. It's not like it's crushing their ad budget to have these posters up.
Yeah. But moving from these things that I think the fan base is more on board with. The one that kind of people were kind of met on, like I said, if you go to the welcome.guildwars2.com page, and I think on there they have the play for free trailer, which we kind of have it here. Let me, and it's interesting looking. It basically what it shows is, for people that may be just listening, it's a different stylized, like it's not in-game graphics or anything, but it shows people running away from a creature. We find out later it's a dragon type, and
It's the wyvern. It's
the wyvern.
Patriarch, yeah.
But then there's one person standing in front of it, and all of a sudden a group of people are ready to fight it, and so then it kind of just cuts to the whole 11 million strong type thing. And but I know a lot of people are kind of on the fence about this one, just because it, especially with the past news of apparently ArenaNet was working on other projects, maybe mobile games. It really seems like a lot of people were maybe thinking a Guild Wars or Tyrion lore based mobile type game, and people are saying this has a lot of kind of nods towards like the style of cinematics or whatever that you get from advertising in mobile games.
Yeah,
do you guys agree with that? Or
it 100% feels like a mobile game trailer. I'm not going to disagree with that.
If you pause on that frame where everyone's standing there,
yeah,
it definitely feels like the mobile type, because you have the characters and you have the weapons that are all lit up and standing out as opposed to the characters.
Yeah, it 100% looks like it could have been used for a mobile game.
Yeah,
but I mean, if this was a mobile game, it kind of showcases like literally all of that armor, and I'm fairly certain all of the weapons, if not the glow effect, but at the very least the weapon models themselves are all available weapons in Guild Wars 2. All the characters there, all the character customization that's involved there is Guild Wars 2. It's not like it's misleading you and saying that
no.
Like literally, the only thing that could technically be seen as misleading is you fight that in the jungle, not on an open grassy plain. Like that's the only misleading, and maybe the glow effect.
That's yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like at the end, it's like a clear open sky with everyone standing there. I felt like it needed something in the background just a little bit, but so that's just me.
And
maybe it's in the fractal or in the mists.
Like maybe this did come from them doing the mobile game, and they just didn't want to waste the budget spent on it. But I don't see a problem with it because it's not misleading.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and I could see how it could be slightly, just because it has the mobile like feel to it, so they think it's a mobile game. But that's the only thing. Really.
I mean, if you feel like it's a mobile game and then you go to search for it, it's like, this isn't on an app store. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they're not tricking someone into downloading something else or.
No, I mean, like, well, given how mobile trailer videos go, and you see this one, at first, like, 'cause at first I saw this on Facebook. I think someone random posted it, and I thought it was like, oh, maybe this was like the mobile, like a mobile trailer type of thing that they were going to use. But then I saw later on in the week it was just a trailer that they were going to use to promote the game. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's like, from my perspective, that's what I thought. So that's what I mean by like slightly.
Okay.
It's not in a bad way or anything. It's just like my.
It's just interesting that they, like I said, it definitely feels like this was maybe designed for maybe possibly one of their other projects, just because it's like the stylize of it. It looks worse than the game. Like, why wouldn't they use in-game cinematics, or like some of the cinematics that already play during like raids or something that are just higher like in-game models, or even some of the painterly style that they're used, accustomed to. It's just, it is a weird design decision. I feel, but
it, because you remember back in the day, like Guild Wars, like OG Guild Wars trailers, they're like kind of like halfway in between that and this, where
like, the weird thing is those ones, I mean, I looked better, I feel like.
Yeah, in my opinion too. But I don't know, maybe it's like NCSoft like decided to throw together a trailer. Who knows? Like, at this point, it might just be like NCSoft hired someone to like throw together a trailer.
And I think that's like ultimate question, especially when we get to like, I think some of the stuff that people have kind of been more irritated with is this NCSoft taking more steps into it, because NCSoft is very well known for having a lot of free to play games, and like we said, this definitely does feel like a free to play trailer for me. Like, if you compare it to like things you see like Neverwinter Online, or some of the other like well known like free to play MMOs out there, that it kind of does have the cartoon / kind of realistic, I mean, this like kind of
less, the lighting is less realistic, but I mean, ultimately, if this gets people into playing the game and they play it and it's a little more, I don't know, realistic than what they saw in the trailer, is anybody going to be surprised that the trailer doesn't necessarily look 100% what's in game?
Well, maybe they wanted to play that little weird looking Asuran in the front, and they're like, I can't make one as weird as that one.
Yes, you can.
Oh,
have you spent time on the character creator with the Asura?
No, I mean,
you can make them look really goddamn weird.
Yeah, but that one, like I said, just because of the coloring on it, like the design choice, it's just
the underlit glow.
Yeah.
From whatever weapon he's using that makes it look really weird. But in a general sense, like, sure, it kind of looks mobile game-esque, but they're not. They didn't hire Kate Upton to do the commercial. They're not using random boobs or suggestive comments to get you to click on a link. Really,
though, you know what they should have did? They should have thrown in, because they do all shout there. They should have maybe threw in like a nod to their bad marketing of. It should have said, "Ah."
Oh my God! Get out. Go.
But I think it's, in the end, it's all about that conversion rate. So like,
yes,
if this trailer didn't cost them like absurd amount, like even the shout that they do is the usual shout that they do for like PvP trailers, like, and most of the sounds are probably from in game. So like, if it may have been like super easy to make this trailer, and if the conversion rate brings in players, and then it's like, it's a win. So I think honestly, like, all of the recent marketing with the physical stuff and this, it's more about getting something simple out, something easy, something safe, and getting a decent return on it. And they obviously have the metrics to see this, and from other marketing from other companies, and see what the conversion rate is. So maybe that's what they're going for. Something simple, something small, and seeing how it works out.
Now, the one thing that I kind of want to talk about, like the next one, is kind of like the ones that I think more people have been irritated with, and it's kind of been mainly focused on the social media aspect. Like I know last couple
Oh,
weeks when they were at the uh, London, what was it,
Res,
London
yeah.
Res or whatever, like going tweeting out about Jean-Luc and like the he always lost and like do all this stuff. Like they did really hit that a lot of times. Like in other times, like past years, like they would have like a retweet for like a chance at this like thing. Like they would only like maybe do it once a day and then maybe a reminder during the day. But it really seemed like this time around it was like every like maybe every hour. Like it just seemed like a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't know. I don't know how it appeals to non-Guild Wars 2 players, but for me, it's just like I saw it the first 3 times, and then afterwards, kind of like just filters out of my head when I keep seeing it because I generally know what it's about, but I don't
And
know.
yeah, I think that was my problem. Like I know a lot of people were saying like, noticing like, man, they're really tweeting this out a lot. And I was like, I really kind of just blank over it after a while. But nonetheless, that doesn't mean that it's not still happening. And I kind of, I kind of wanted to bring it up, and I don't want it to sound like we're knocking. Like they did tweet out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, about go check out someone that was going to play the new or the this week
Oh,
three's
proper play?
episode. Yeah, and their tweet was mostly hashtag, like the pertinent information there was maybe a fourth, maybe a fifth of it, and the rest of it was like I kind of wanted to pull it up. It was like it was like at proper play at this time, hashtag GW2, hashtag living world, hashtag welcome back, hashtag I couldn't even MMORPG, like hashtag, but like so many hashtags. I was like
I
it kind
don't.
of made me look up because I know in the past, like when Twitter first kind of really brought around the hashtag and stuff, people were like, social media etiquette, and
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
don't
I feel
know.
like it was just really overused.
I don't know if that case is if proper actually sends the tweet that they want to send out
Oh,
because I
I'm
know
not
I
aware of
know
that.
he like because he's in my stream team. I'm pretty sure, and he uses quite a bit of hashtags on his
Oh,
stuff. I don't know if that's a thing. Like he just sent like, "Hey, we're gonna be playing blah blah blah," or but I don't know if it's like a new person who's doing.
okay. It just seems like it kind of went well with the whole Jean-Luc thing of and that was raising my question was because of the
Oh,
whole ANET the ANET layoffs and stuff like that, and NCSoft taking a more step in back in to everything. I was
mhm.
wondering if not necessarily because we didn't really hear too much of like the social media team really getting a lot of layoffs, but maybe it was like NCSoft stepping in saying, hey, this is what works with our other games, do it like this, or this is our like maybe making them do it like this, and maybe that's why we're seeing a different change in it, or maybe there is someone from NCSoft now taking control. I don't know either way. I'm just wondering if
um,
we've noticed that change after that event.
it might be maybe I don't know if anyone from the social team like moved to different spots possibly or have different responsibilities and they brought on like maybe 2 to 3 people to like pick up the load and maybe they social differently and this is what we're seeing or what but I have no answer honestly.
Yeah, I just kind of want to throw it out there just to see if people, and this is, I don't want to create like a witch hunt or anything like that, but it's just an interesting how
It's
both of those kind of shifted since that shakeup.
I don't want to say it's a precedent yet because we have two instances of a
Yes,
thing
it's,
happening.
and this could
So
just be a coincidence.
yeah,
Science.
so it's one of those. Well, talking about precedents set kind of dovetails nicely into our next topic, but we'll get there when we get there. With stuff like this, maybe somebody new got added to the stream team, and they just maybe that's the thing they do is they overload tweets with hashtags. Like people use Twitter differently.
Yes, no, And like I said, when I was looking up like etiquette for Twitter, because I've always heard like different things like from one side going blah 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 this blah
There
blah, blah.
is
You
no
know, there's no
Yeah.
reality to it. Like
You can't tell
and
people how to you can't tell people
yeah,
how to use their
exactly.
social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I typically use like 3 hashtags max, and like
And
maybe
I
like
I have
1 or
seen like repeat things from random sites. Like these weren't like this is Twitter's official decree of like there was nothing of that. It was just these people going, I reckon this is how it should be. Like and I did see some kind of consistencies of make sure your hashtags are spelled correctly. Make sure
Yeah.
they're pertinent to the thing you're talking about. And they do say like don't overuse them too much. They kind of recommended hovering around. I've seen hovering around 2 to 3 or something.
Yeah.
But like I said, these aren't any official things. It's still very much Wild West. But I just thought that was, I don't know. It really did draw my eye to it, but I don't know if it was for the right reasons for me at least.
Interesting.
But this could be like Jim was kind of saying, like maybe there is NCSoft's like new marketing push with ArenaNet. If we look at these 3 things, for me, 2 out of 3 seem like they, depending on the turnout, seem like it's better than what we've had. I mean, which, that still is, I think, pretty successful. I mean, but yeah. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but and I like the like Chad was saying, do you think the money could be best utilized in other ways? Like I think they suggested having streamers stream or YouTubers or whatever content creators focusing on Guild Wars 2.
The only problem with allocating that money is you can't just say, oh, this could have been put over here, because if everything else the money is being spent on doesn't allow for the rest of that thing to be bought, well, you have to do something with that money. So it's possible that for whatever marketing they were doing, these posters, that trailer, that's what was available. So it's kind of like playing Tetris, but with pieces that are wildly different shaped. Well, she's a Tetris 99 master, so
No, I'm not.
Oh.
Aaron's better than I am.
Do a hell of a lot better than I ever would. Anyway, so it's one of those things where it's like, could they have spent this money elsewhere? Maybe, but maybe they would have only been able to spend this money elsewhere if they would have saved it and held on to it. And would that even guarantee that they get conversion off of trying something like this? So it's gambling, and it's either you spend it now or you spend it later, and it's not clean. It's not, oh, they could have just done this.
And I'm wondering if we're not.
And oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna. It's just bouncing off his thought. It's we shouldn't be marketing for us primarily. It's for getting new people in.
We're already in.
We're in.
We're there.
We already
Like,
drank the punch. We're.
If anything, they should be marketing upcoming content to us. In this case,
Yes.
they're just marketing the game itself. Like,
Well, that's exactly the other thing is when you say, why don't you pay streamers? Well, like, what's going on right now that they could pay streamers to stream for? Got a PvP?
Sekiro.
PvP season.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay.
Yeah.
ArenaNet, pay me to play Sekiro.
I thought you meant like in general, like what could
No,
streamers be
no,
paid
I'm talking about like specifically for Guild Wars 2. There's no story content. There's the current event stuff, but that's not really something you can pay someone to stream.
Yeah, people will like only like honestly will invest in like expansions or things like that.
Like expansion, living story. Like if someone was like, I'm gonna marathon all of the living, like all of the story. I'm gonna do it in one stream, literally all of the story.
Yeah, and then you send out a tweet for that.
Somebody would have to do it. So,
which I mean, there are people that are coming into this like thing. Like I know a couple of people that we've hosted in the past that that maybe they're back into the game or something. They're just going through the story, and it's kind of
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's if anyone, it'd be like
We need
really hard
Ninja.
because like like for example, let's say they wanted to get like some popular like Ninja or not even Ninja, like
They need
say
Battle
let's say
Royale.
a popular streamer. Let's say any popular streamer you can think of off the top of your head, and they want to get this person to play the game. Now, generally, people only stream games that they enjoy or which are in their ballpark for streaming. So, like for like Ammunition, she does like FPS games, right? So she probably wouldn't be a great candidate for Guild Wars 2. But like other streamers might be. And then it comes to like if they actually want to play the game versus like doing a sponsored video, which means they're actually getting paid for it at like a good price. And then it comes to the price, and then it's like, is it worth it versus the other marketing that they're doing? It's a lot of things. And like, how many people do they get to stream the game?
Yeah, it's dealing with people is a lot more volatile than dealing with a poster on a wall.
Yes.
So,
though there is a chance of paper cuts
really.
from the poster, not the. I mean, maybe the content creator. I don't know. But, what?
Yeah,
that's just how you're getting. That's it.
But like you guys are kind of talking about because a lot of people are criticizing it that are already playing the game. Like you guys have said, this isn't for us type thing. It's for drawing people in. But kind of speaking of teasing the people that are already here for future content, we kind of showed off the little teaser they gave us last week of just kind of glimpses of Kraukatork flying around. But they actually had with Eurogamer, there was a Eurogamer article kind of talking more about the new Skyscale Mount. And they kind of gave out a little trailer attached to it, and you can kind of see it here. It's just a kind of brief little thing, but they do talk about it as the second flying mount. That it will release with episode 6 War Eternal. It is kind of interesting that they said it will be to Guild Wars 2 what a helicopter is to aviation in real life, which I do have to step away real quick if you guys want to kind of elaborate on that real quick, and I'll hopefully be back by then. But yeah, how do you guys feel about, like, what do they mean by that? Which they do go in the article about that, which if you want to look at it yourself, we will have the link in the description and whatnot. But if you guys want to talk about it real quick.
I read the Eurogamer article, and they basically said that where they talked about the Skyscale being a helicopter, they specifically called out the Griffin as a jet engine. So the whole point is the Skyscale is going to be maneuverable, but not fast. The Griffin, you can clear an entire map with a good start on a Griffin in seconds. I remember I got to Thunderhead Keep. I went through, I left the top of Thunderhead Keep on the top of the mountain, and I flew to the bottom where the dredge oil drillers are in like less than 10 seconds.
That's pretty good.
But doing that on foot would take a lot longer. As far as I can tell, the Skyscale isn't going to be able to handle that kind of speed.
Yeah, it's
okay
more like, it sounds like if you want more consistent time in the air, you would use the Skyscale.
Yep. They're going to have to put more no mount zones in the game with something like this.
Rough.
Depending, like they're definitely going to need to put more like no flying zones in. The grabbing onto walls thing.
That looks cool. I ain't gonna
So
lie.
the thing that I really like the idea of is, you guys remember the ogre jumping puzzle in Lion's Arch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you have to, like, it's basically just a big rocky tunnel up through everything. I'm imagining something like that, but mount sized.
Oh,
But the whole thing is for the Skyscale to not like beat out, say, the Springer. It has to be slower at vertical scaling than the Springer would be.
Mhm.
because the Springer is just, I need to go really high, really fast, and I just need one jump.
It's similar to the jet engine theory, like, because it would be slower, because you have to like latch on. From what I read, you have to latch on, and then you have to jump, and then I guess you latch on again, and then jump.
Depending on if there's a cooldown or endurance cost to that ability.
Yeah.
So
Versus the Springer, who would just like, boop.
Yep, and then you're done.
Yeah.
And they showed in the trailer that little hop up, you don't gain much altitude from that. So gaining that airtime is not like, you're not beating. I was talking about precedent, and there was a small Twitter conversation that me and Dago and Aaron were having about the Griffin. Because he was talking about saving up a whole bunch of gold for the Skyscale, because the precedent set is that flight costs. My whole counter to that is there's no precedent with one mount, and also the Griffin is technically secret. It's not it's secret. Like, it's not told that, hey, this is a Griffin in game. You find that out from other people. The only reason I knew that the Griffin existed is because of the show.
Yeah. Okay.
The Griffin, you're never required to get the Griffin. The Skyscale is going to be part of the story, as far as I can tell. Very similar to
like the Beetle or any of the other story parts in POF.
Well, you won't need it to beat the story, I don't think. It's going to be more like something you get after you beat the story, kind of like the roller beater. I think
it might be something used for the story, looking at it.
Yeah, it's going to be like, it's going to be sitting nearby, and then you're going to like use it pretty much.
I do like the dismount attack too, because the mount actually, you hop off the mount flies off, and then as it's flying off, it breathes the AoE of fire down.
Now my question is, because like they're saying it, like you basically gain altitude. Like this seems like, I don't know, it does seem like it is a flying mount that you would find in other MMOs, in the sense that you are always flying as much as you want, unlike the Griffin that is basically like a glider. It seems
probably going to you're not going to be able to just like let go of your keyboard and stay in the air, it looks like.
Okay.
As far like from what I can tell, because it does glide in bits of this, is that you are going to have some kind of input necessary in order to stay in the air.
But you don't think it's going to be as complicated as the Griffin? Because, I mean, you can stay in the air.
The Griffin has 3 skills. It has dive, wing flap, and climb. I can't imagine the Skyscale having anything more complex than that, because you've got wing flap is the mobility ability, like the endurance bar drain. Dive is the one, and climb is the mount skill 2.
But do you think it's going to be as complicated as the Griffin, where it's like you want to make the plunge down and then back up to that's what I'm.
You have to think of it like a helicopter a little bit. So you could take off from the ground, and you can go as high and low as you can. But I think that'll cost endurance.
It's going to take time. Like, you're going to be able to gain altitude, but without knowing exactly how endurance like ties into how it moves. I don't know. Yeah. I can't see this as being like, oh, they're giving us other MMO flying mounts now. No, they're not. That's not how this is going to work. They basically have already set the precedent with every other single mount, is that these aren't mounts. These aren't mounts in an MMO sense. These are vehicles in like a sandbox game sense. They all control differently. They're all used for different things.
Yeah, I'm really excited either way to just like try it out. I don't think it'll be like a Griffin cost, but I'm still probably going to save up a bit of gold just in case.
I mean, PD costs what, 8 gold? 10 gold?
I don't remember. I don't think it'll be. No, I don't think it'll be like 250. I'm thinking it's gonna be like.
It's gonna like 10 to
I think like
25 gold maybe.
Yeah, I'm saving 50 probably, but like just to cover.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could not in any realm think it breaking 100 or.
If it's part of a story, a living story
Yeah.
update, it's not gonna be the Griffin cost.
That's exactly why I'm thinking, because it's living story. Like everyone is probably gonna go for it, and not everyone's gonna be happy that the thing that they advertise versus like you said, the Griffin was a secret is gonna be.
Well, I mean, I guess you could look at it this way, because well, we do know the 1 gold cost for the Warclaw was 8. I don't know how much for the Roller Beetle was like physical gold. If you look at it as you get 2 gold from dailies, which are kind of like usually pretty easy to achieve if you're just playing it at all, you know, that's basically 4 days out of a week. Like,
yeah.
And if you have no gold whatsoever to put towards it, like,
I honestly think it'll be under 50 gold. Like I think honestly like 10-25 max. Like I don't really seeing it being expensive. I see it like some events that we might have to do might be a little tricky just because of the event itself, but otherwise.
Or if you're gonna buy your way, like say if you need like a saddle or something, and it's like you need to craft these pieces or grab this much wood or something. Like if you don't have that, expect those prices to go up because of course they're going to be in demand. But that shouldn't count towards the cost in the sense just because they're designing it so you would actually go out and get that, not necessarily going out and spending gold for it.
Yeah, I'm talking more collection wise, like
yeah.
Yes. So
well, I can see something like, oh, we need like a saddle, grab us leather and I'll turn it into a saddle and it'll give you the collection or something. That way you don't need crafting, because that could be an issue.
I don't know if it'll use crafting.
That's why I'm like saying, like we've seen that in like what season 1 and 2 where it was like the back, like what was it, season 2 where you had to make the back pieces and use a lot of crafting. That I don't think they want to do that here, so that's why I'm saying I could see at most them being like, if you get me leather and string and stuff, and I'll make the saddle and give it to you. And
yeah, they're gonna want the average player to have it within a week. So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
But yeah, I'm definitely intrigued to see some more. Which
is it weird that I'm intrigued of the skin options for it?
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a very popular one skin wise.
Well, just because like I get to ride a dragon around,
and this is where we're gonna see the Orion skin come in.
That's what a lot of people are speculating or hoping.
One of the other things is you can do a lot with like if the AoE effect that it lays down doesn't do any conditions. There's a lot of options you can do with the particle effect there. Like if it's just a damaging attack.
I think it's
like, can you imagine the branded skin for this?
Branded fire. I think it'll burn. But yeah. I think it'll burn still, but you can change the effect. Like everyone will understand what it is for the most part.
Yeah.
Maybe one for Valentine's Day, it'll blow a little fiery heart on the ground. You'll be like, yeah. I'm thinking for my Dabio character right now. Sorry.
Look, the fact that the possibilities have you thinking, I think that's already like a success at that point.
And hey, it works like a copter. Next time Sab comes around, just make that backpack the copter thing, and boom, you don't even have to do anything. There you go.
They'd have to do Sab skins first for the mounts.
True.
Yep.
But one is Smaug skin. Yeah,
just
that'd
have to get Benedict Cumberbatch to voice it.
Well, there went the budget.
Pretty much.
It was so worth it.
It would be. That would be the 2K gem mount. That would be the 2K mount skin for it.
It'd probably be more than 2K if they need.
So many people would just be like, I don't even care about the price. Here is my money.
It might be more than 2K if they have to pay for probably Benedict Cumberbatch to.
I don't know.
Benedict Cumberbatch voice pack is separate.
Oh, as long as it includes him trying to say penguins.
Penguin. I'm surprised no one corrected him. Like, seriously, you have him like in the booth recording it the entire freaking time, and no one corrects him on the terminology of penguins. That's ridiculous.
They're probably laughing too much.
No
But
way. Anyway.
yeah. I mean, any other thoughts on like this? I mean, there's very little information to go off of. It just does give us a closer look, and the very beginnings of, we don't really know what the skills are going to be and how they're going to function.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we were talking about that advertising. Like you said, if we get Benedict Cumberbatch, it's very much an all or nothing type thing.
Oh my god.
What? Speaking of all or nothing, they continued with the stories that we saw online. Originally, we had the Ritlock one that we talked about about a month ago, month and a half now. Feels like forever. But we finally got the second one, Zafirah, who, if you're not familiar with, is the priest of Balthazar sniper that we messed with. What was it? 2 episodes ago, but becomes our ally and
the one that everyone liked very thoroughly.
Yes.
I liked it. Man, that's
I need to finish All or Nothing first.
Well,
yes, is on podcast. Haven't finished story.
Pause.
And
Jake can do it.
We'll get there.
And it does go through like the events, talks about the events of the last episode, but I think the more intriguing part is kind of hearing Zafirah's backstory, just because we haven't really gotten to really see that or hear about it or anything like that, because we've only seen her for a couple episodes and she's very much been so iffy on the whole situation. I mean, you can definitely tell it throughout here, but it was interesting to hear how she became a Deadeye. Basically, Joko's minions were attacking her village, and her family basically threw her out of the house with her mother's rifle and a bag of bullets she couldn't even carry, and like just told her to run or like just go, get the heck out of there type thing. And just hearing her how she had to survive, and basically like she had to be a good shot just because she couldn't waste any bullets and stuff like that. She was living in like the desolation area, very unhospitable environment. But it's definitely an interesting read for a backstory. Before we get too far away, I do want to say, like, this is once again coupled with an ArenaNet creative partner, and this one's art was done by Marius Bota, so you can see it there. But definitely check out the whole story. I mean, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts of what you thought of the story if you had a chance to.
I think it was interesting because it was kind of like, I think there's almost every character in Guild Wars, like the NPC characters, are just trying to find their purpose. And this is kind of Zafirah's side to it all. So she first was picked up by Zambar. What's his name? I'm saying it right.
I think it's like Zalambar.
Zalambar. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jack. But anyway, so she was used for her skill. She didn't think much of it, and then she was picked up. She went with the Zaishan priest because she felt like a certain calling when the priest was talking about Balthazar and
yeah, it was basically she didn't feel like she was being used as a tool. They actually were impressed by her skill and not.
Yeah, and then she felt like betrayed when Anthony Balthazar showed up and started like offing all the people that praised Balthazar, and then like when she went with the commander in Noreen, she felt like she had a new purpose. She felt like it was fate that was leading her to this task because of the vision. But now that Irene is where she is now, she feels like she's at a impasse, and I feel it's very similar to Ritlock's story as well.
Mm-hmm. And this is kind of stemming back from last week where we were saying like if it involved the gods somehow coming back and maybe, you know, with the eternal war type thing or war eternal, like the eternal war between Mingus. I just love keep poking people with that because I know people are gonna keep, but versus Balthazar, and I don't know. I'd kind of like to see her turmoil mostly from that, just because it's like there was this her god returned, but it was a false god. Well, you know, was a false god at the time, but they still followed it. Like, would she maybe try to look towards Mingus? And
I think at this point it's more like, because like the last thing that was driving her was like the vision that she was going to help drive Krakatoa back, but now it's she wants to do good. Like she had no, she really didn't have malice in her whatsoever. So like even the people that she was killing for Zalbar, it was just like a job. And then for when she joined with Balthazar, it was to like take out the people to save many type of situation there. So to join Mingus for what purpose exactly? That's
I don't know how it would. Especially hearing this story now, it wouldn't. You know, she doesn't really have that heart. Her heart is for the command, like for the commander and the good and all that stuff. Like, it'd be weird. Like, it would be kind of weird to see why she would go to them. But it just made me laugh because, you know, she was a, you know, priestess and a priest of Balthazar. I just started thinking, I'm like, so they would be like priests of Mingus? Like, it just sounds so. I'm a priest of Mingus. It's like,
we could have a different title.
They'd probably want a different god.
Well, that's if Mingus is the god.
True. That's just, I don't know. I just find it funny. It's like if there would be a priest of Mingus.
You just want him to come back in just so you can keep poking people with that name.
Well, hey, he can't poke people at the name if he comes back, and then ArenaNet decides once and for all what it is, and it's like, everyone will accept it. That's it.
I would fully support it because I said it before. That's the only reason why I argue with people that say because in reality Abaddon should be Abaddon,
and everyone will accept it. You come on.
Yeah. But in the game, there are people that literally say Abaddon at the very beginning. So that's why I say, no, in Tyria, that god is called Abaddon.
It's pronounced Tyria.
No, we're not doing this. Move on to the next topic.
But yeah, I trust me. I'm with everybody that I would rather it be Menzies. But unfortunately, they went with the reality route of Mingus. But yes, anyway. Any other thoughts on the Zafirah story?
Cool story.
I like seeing more written stories for everything. It's a good idea to keep this up.
Yeah, and I know originally, like when the the Ritlock one came out, I was like, I'd really like to see this end game, and you know, I understand it's a very hard thing to do, and it's a lot more money to go towards. But maybe we would have like maybe little current event things that capitalize on these. Like Ritlock one, I'd have to go reread and maybe figure out something. But maybe Zafirah here, you read about when she does transition to Zalimbar or whatever his name is. Hopefully we're saying it right. But he eventually gets her a better rifle. But she's like, she has this like little turmoil, like, no, this is my mother's rifle. Like, this is all she basically has left of her type thing. I almost kind of want, like, I don't know if does it say in there that she kept it or something? Like, did he take it away from her? Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it felt like he was like, no, this is your new rifle. And kind of took the other one from her type deal. Like, this is junk. like I kind of want like the Guild Wars 1 Gwen moment where it's like, oh, we found a broken flute, or like something to like remind you of your past type thing. You could like, maybe you can find it somewhere in one of the POF maps or something, and you can return it to her, and she maybe has a little bit of dialogue or something.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'd like to see some way of this, like even slightly connecting back into the game. But I do like these as like backstory, side story.
Yeah.
Especially since it doesn't seem likely that we'll get the full thing ever in game.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of the people, I don't know if it's they're trying to appeal to like us as players or like as people, but a lot of people just are trying to find their way in life. And it feels like these stories are just different scenarios of that. So I just found that interesting. So I'm wondering if the third one's going to be similar to that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because it looks like the last one left is Kaith, which that one's going to be really interesting.
Oh, yeah. Wild Hunt. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. That answered my question, actually.
But yeah, so any final thoughts on the story? Well, this past week, of course, we got some patch notes. And also a little API update, which, I mean, we can just quickly address because there's not too much to unpack with that, but they did add updates. So they added, you can basically...
world bosses.
Yeah, basically love for like world boss clears, map chests to the API for, particular tools, stuff like that. So hopefully it only strengthens the tools that are already existing out there. And
Count look is actually kind of nice for some tools.
But overall, it's like I'm loving the constant communication we're getting from ArenaNet. So I'm sure there's negative people out there, but hopefully ArenaNet hears this, and it's like I think a lot of the people appreciate it, but maybe aren't saying it as often. But
yeah.
But let's talk more about the patch notes. So pretty, for the most part, pretty standard stuff like, gem stores, tweaks to profession skills. But there was a little bit of living world update. And all it said was disturbances in the mist have opened rifts in certain locations around Tyria. Enter the rifts and defeat branded rift stalkers to close them.
We rift now. Yeah.
Oh God, no.
Look, if Cthulhu's gonna start coming out of the sky, I don't want to deal with it.
Hey, rifts were great concepts.
Honestly, I kind of loved it until it got to a point where people just walked past them because they didn't want to participate them when
that's kind of the problem.
Yeah, that was.
There was penalties to not closing them.
Well, technically in Rift there are. The only problem is they're not lasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not a permanent thing.
You want lasting penalties.
Kind of, yeah. If it would have been more like how Ore was, where, of course, Ore had like the starting points because if but they could drive them all the way back to just like you have one town. But granted, we're kind of diverging into, we're gonna start a Rift podcast. How many years out?
Let's not. And say we didn't.
That would be such like I mean, granted, I don't know how often they update the game, but it'd be kind of tough to. Anyway,
it's more like but the concept of just rifts, like just enemies coming from a certain area, but in this case, it's like rifts out of the sky. You put whatever monsters you want, and then you can have reasoning for it later. That's why I kind of like the concept of rifts. And like this is not what Guild Wars 2 did. But when I first saw Guild Wars 2 in dynamic events, I thought dynamic events would have a penalty in terms of like when they talked about the centaurs and they would take over the land, and then they would kind of force you back into Queensdale, and then you have to actually, actually fight to do events to actually get back land and then become like a back and forth struggle. That's what I thought current events Yeah. it's
Yeah,
not
I
like-
was more hopeful for it, but with this current event, there are specific maps that you can go to that basically these events will spawn every 10 minutes on particular maps. And the maps are in the order of Kessex Hills, Lornar's Pass, Iron Marches, Brisbane Wildlands, Dredge Haunt Cliffs, Diessa Plateau, Snowden Drifts, and then loops back around to Kessex Hills, which is kind of nice because it is every 10 minutes. So this is what I like about, how we constantly said they've wanted to make it where you could log in for an hour and feel like you progressed through something.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a great example of them doing this because I instantly, when I first heard about this, like the Rift location things, I instantly thought of what was it, like Scarlet's invasions, where it was one every hour, and they only lasted for like
Few minutes.
I think like maybe 15 minutes, but it's like then you have like a 45-minute downtime or something. It was like, ugh.
That was okay for Lion's Arch, for like the Battle for Lion's Arch.
Well, the funny thing is, if you were on good maps for Battles of the Lion's Arch, you had like maybe a 5-minute downtime, like if you progressed it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the ones that randomly spawned in the certain maps and were pretty much random, because I think, or it went through didn't go through like 20 maps or something. So if you missed one, it's like, well, I'll come back to it in like 2 days, and hopefully it'll be back around to a time I can play. Like, at least this way, it's every 10 minutes. Like. And how many maps are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So a little over an hour, and it loops back around.
Yeah, that and from what I was reading is once you finish it, it actually ports you to the location of the next rift.
Oh, wow, fantastic! Yeah.
So you literally need to catch the train at whatever map is happening, and you'll just loop through all of them.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's definitely awesome. And basically a lot of it revolves around you fighting the rifts, going in there, and I think there's a couple little tricks people have been talking about where I think if you hit like a certain thing in there, it helps you ignore the knockback. I don't know if that's intended, but yeah, you can get different like little things, but they do say make sure to defeat the boss and like do everything in there before clicking on the next location, since it does teleport you out. But I'm sure you're wondering, what can I get out of it, right? Well, thanks to Dolphy, she actually showed off the Rift Stalker weapons, which you can see here. They are
pretty cool.
Yeah, they are sword, scepter, and greatsword. But yeah, you can craft these, and they said that you craft in the Mystic Forge with 1 Riftstalker Carapace, which drops from the satchels from doing the events, and 25 Mystic Crystals, 25 Ectoplasm, and 1 T7 weapon specific part. So, for example, Delgamore Greatsword hilt for the Greatsword, Delgamore Steel Sword hilt for the sword, and Spirit Wood Scepter Rod for the scepter. So.
I think I would actively use the sword. Like I think I would not use the scepter. The scepter is it's too chack for me. But the sword and the great sword's a maybe. The sword is, yeah, I'd actually probably use the sword.
Transcending history and the world, a tale of souls and swords.
Oh my god, get out.
That's the first thing that came to my head.
Did you know the steel case for the for Soul Cal 6 actually like has a button on it that will play the announcer saying stuff like that?
That's awesome.
It's
I like the great sword, but
I think it uses some design choices, which makes me intrigued, because it does feel like there's like elements of like the Chak thing, which I'm wondering, we still don't know really too much about the origins of the Chak and how they exist in the world, and they're attracted to the ley line magic, which apparently cycles into the dragons. Like these rift things that are opening up, I'm wondering if there's connections that aren't being addressed yet. But
it's slightly chalk-like, but the rift stalkers look like chalk, but they come out of mist portals. So yeah, you could call it a reskin, but in the same vein that like the Orion weapons, the Orion skins are, and the Ara skins are somehow similar because they're from Ore.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think they're thematically supposed to be the same. That's why I'm curious of what the future connection, if they go deeper with it, is, because like you're saying that they look like the Chak. It's like it's and but I assume the Chak was a byproduct of Asura meddling with the Karga.
Possibly, we don't know.
Yeah, I mean we do know that Lost. I mean in the same area was like the kind of destroyed old. What was it? Rada. What's been a while?
Primus.
What is that? What it was called in Heart of Thorns?
Novus.
Oh, Rada Novus is the one that's in Tangled Depths.
Yeah. Okay. Like that's the area that we first saw the Chak kind of thing. So it very well could have been.
We have no confirmation of what the Rift Stalkers are.
I'll say Tab is saying it looks like they use the same model as the Karka. Trying to.
Okay, yeah, you're probably right. Though I think some of the larger chalk might share that model too, like the ones.
It might use the same rigging. I definitely think they use a lot of similar rigging, but
I haven't seen any, so I can't say.
Karka? You've never seen Karka?
No, like I can't, like Rift Stalkers.
Oh, you fight one in the mission where you go into the Sunspear Sanctuary. It's when
I was gonna say when we're helping.
Really?
Yeah, it's when Snaff and why can't I remember her name?
Oh,
Timey?
Wow. No, not Timey. The Air. Thank you. I don't know why.
I remember that fight. I don't remember what the monster was.
That was a Rift Stalker that came out of the portal.
Okay, then yeah, that definitely does use the. I was gonna say you do see more when you're protecting, when they're closing down all that stuff in the previous episodes, but yeah.
Well, to be fair, Eugene, with the number of skins in the game, like, are you going to be shocked by anything at this point? If you've been playing for this long?
I mean, if the art contest they have for weapons told anything, there's a lot of different ideas. Like,
there's plenty of ideas. It's just a matter of,
and also it can be implemented and still look good in a game, because I mean there's those ones like, what was it, the god ones, like that one person that made the axe that had like all the gods on it, that would, and I'm like, how would that scale? Like, would it just look so, are you gonna have the issue where no one would want to play an Asuran with a great sword because it's like you're not seeing or getting all the beauty out of your legendaries?
There's a difference between art and modeling, which I think you were just talking about. So,
but then they just promote Norn and char play.
True. I mean, you should be playing Norn from the get-go. Honestly, I feel like so people were more comfortable when they make a new account. They're pushing this new game, this new thing. Just lock everything else but Norn, and you don't do that. But yeah, definitely. I mean, like we said, you could definitely craft them all, and if you're a skin collector, you'll definitely want to get it. I think it definitely has a place for someone's look. I couldn't see it on a lot of my characters at this current time, but I mean, I have changed the look of my characters every once in a while. But yeah, while I think it looks interesting and like detailed, it wouldn't fit for most of my characters. Any other thoughts on the current events or the patch notes, apart from probably the stuff that we're going to be talking about, like Gem Store and
two souls are fiercely entangled. That's all I got.
I was trying to think of a way to transition to it, but
the sword is one soul, and the person is the other soul.
Just no.
In this case. I'm sorry.
See, I don't know what you're talking about. so it doesn't feel very welcoming to me. Well, it just doesn't feel very welcoming to me. Unlike what Guild Wars 2 is trying to do with the Welcome Back to Guild Wars 2 initiative.
I tried to stop it.
But yeah, it's forever told.
But yeah, this is week 3. This is once again them trying to encourage players to return. So if you are in the game, you can pick up the free episode unlocked, Long Live the Lich, which is season 4, episode 3. And you have to go into the gem store. It's not like the other times when it launched. You don't just log in and get it. If you do log in, you're going to get the newest season or episode, which was episode 5. But you will have to go in the gem store and get it for free. And also, while you're in there, and if you already do have it, you can also go in the gem store and pick up a free experience booster this week in the gem store. Limit 1 per account. But both will be available until April 15th. So,
yay! Pick up your booster.
Free stuff.
And if you ever want to check it out, like we said, when April 15th rolls around, it's definitely going to be week 4, which is going to have episode 4. They usually put out a blog post of throughout the whole week of so many people that are playing through the stuff. Sometimes it has the ArenaNet devs playing through it. But unfortunately, by the time our show rolls around, most of that stuff has already happened. But yeah, definitely check it out. They usually tweet out when they put out the new blog post of the new stuff. They usually have a list if you want to see that stuff before, but like we said, it's free. Might as well hop in and grab it.
Get a roller beetle.
Oh yeah, that is the episode that gets you the roller beetle. Didn't even remember that.
Be a fast boy.
I've been this before. Higher run.
Sorry. I really like that song.
But any other thoughts on the Welcome Back to Guild Wars 2 and week 3? I mean,
get your booster.
But you know, Age, you make all these references and singing. I feel like it's making me mad. We might have to fight. I don't know. Speaking of fighting, someone actually on Reddit did a breakdown of rewards by tier for the PvP season. And it was a user 914, but they actually put up an image of, you kind of see how they broke down and showing that how profitable the PvP seasons actually are. And it looks like you can get a total of 83, almost 84 gold from Cerulean to Byzantium. Which, yeah, that's it. From the ranked tiers alone, so not mentioning what your reward tracks or anything like that. That's just from pips and stuff alone. So, I mean, I know a lot of people were saying like, holy crap, you can actually make gold from PvP. Like, does this encourage you, or do you think this might encourage other people to maybe step more into PvP? And do you think people will stick with it?
I think this is just more like an observation. Just like someone was curious. It's like, how much gold do I make if I go from this to this?
Yeah. I mean, I've never looked into it, but I know playing ranked PvP for 0 to Hero, I always made a ton of gold. And that's not even counting from like reward tracks and stuff. That's just from pips. And I think that's just the liquid gold that you get out of pips, not including all of the other items and stuff you get out of it. So, I mean, you get a whole bunch of transportation charges, dyes. I think you get tickets that you can use to buy armor and armor skins and weapon skins and stuff. So, like, just the liquid gold you get from going through that, I don't think it's necessarily going to be something that gets people into PvP. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say it does not entice me to go into PvP as
cool
someone that doesn't.
Yeah. It's cool to see though. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of good.
But yeah, definitely check that out. Any other thoughts on the season rewards? Who knew being in the top tier can earn you the most gold. That's how it should be.
Well,
It is weird that
just-
there's like a little bit of a downtick in the second to last one.
Yeah, I think it's just the rate changes. But yeah, it's more like anyone could do it as long as you play. It just depends how much you want to play and how good you are. If you're good, you do it faster. If you're not as good, you do it longer. That's all.
I'm tempted just to see if I can pull someone from chat. I wonder, this is great to understand, but I think they should have put it in like a pie chart or something to better understand what the information displayed.
Could we not bait Mac?
Pie charts are the
Rude.
superior.
Come on, it's about PvP. It's all.
Oh my god, you're both terrible.
I'm
trying, Mac.
But,
I swear.
But yeah, so definitely, if you want to make a little bit of gold, but it is PvP, and fortunately sometimes it's the PvP that like the players in it are usually the thing that, at least for me, ruin it, where it's, I mean, you guys have talked about it before, where it's like the players that are like clearly just sitting there shouting at everybody else not doing anything, and they're the ones not doing anything
because they're too busy typing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, don't let that deter you. We were talking about all this advertisement stuff, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna play Guild Wars 2. I just gotta go and buy it, right? Well, maybe you're watching this on Saturday live, and you're like, okay, I'll have money tomorrow. I'll go, pick it up. Or maybe you're watching this on YouTube when it goes up on Sundays, and you're like, they've convinced me. I need to go pick this game up. I'll go through their Guild Wars 2 website, which, if you are doing that, make sure to use maybe some of your favorite content creators' referral codes, and they get a little bit of kickback from it, and you help them you don't pay any more. It just directs you to the Guild Wars 2 main website. I feel like that's always important to know. But if you're doing it on Sunday and you're like, why isn't this working? It might be due to they are actually going to do maintenance on Sunday, April 14th on the website's store. So, they basically just said on buy.guildwars2.com's section of their website on Sunday, April 14th, beginning at 7 a.m. Pacific time. The maintenance period is expected to end at approximately 12 p.m. Pacific time. Orders placed on their website during the maintenance period will be processed immediately. However, confirmation emails and the fulfillment of the orders may be delayed. So if you're wondering, I didn't get my email or something, don't go back in and accidentally buy 500 copies. That might be due to that.
Just buy it later. Just
That's probably the best way.
Just buy it Monday. There you go.
But they want to start gaming on Sunday, Age.
There's the free-to-play version then. Just play that for a couple hours. Wait till Monday. There you go.
True. But any other thoughts on the website store maintenance thing? I mean,
it needs to happen from time to time.
Yep.
Yeah, which is annoying, but hey, what are you gonna do?
But Age, you kind of counteracted all my points about the wait until Monday to buy that thing. But what if I get the free account and I see something cool in the gem store and I want to buy it, and then I can't buy the actual game? Because, there's a lot of cool stuff in the gem store, and even new stuff. Which, speaking of the gem store, always thank you to Dolphy.net. Check out Dolphy.net so you can spend your gems more wisely. So the new thing that we got in the gem store was the magnificent hummingbird skimmer mount, or skimmer skin, for 2,000 gems. Now, do remember, it is a skin that doesn't guarantee you the skimmer mount, which that is the more aquatic one that is faster over water and stuff like that, liquid surfaces. But if you don't feel like forking out the 2,000 gems, if you want to test your luck, it is an uncommon drop from Black Lion Chess. So, but as you can see, Dolphy's displaying and showing all the die channels. And
Looks good.
Yeah. There's a cool little secret tidbit about the skin too.
Oh.
You guys haven't heard? Oh well, a bird. Bird's a well, a bird.
You did this to our stare.
What did I do?
This is your fault.
I was waiting all week to do that. That was great. I'm done. All right. But yeah, it's a cool skin. I like it. It's kind of little odd at the back, but I guess it's because it's the skimmer part. But
yeah, when I saw her like using it, it was kind of weird looking. But I like the idle animation that it's just showing off right now, where it's kind of like zips like a hummingbird type thing, like. But, and chat saying one of the best skins. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people like really excited about it. I don't know. And I'm not familiar with hummingbirds. Do they like to mostly hover around water?
Yeah. Well, no. It's more like this is actually an interesting concept because skimmer skins probably don't get as much love as the other ones.
Well, because they're not fast on the land.
No, because they don't look appealing as the other ones. So making it like for some people probably not, but like for the most part that's probably the case. But making a more appealing looking skin for it will probably generate more sales.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the other things with the skimmer is if you're going uphill, it is one of the fastest mounts as long as you have endurance.
Oh, because the hover thing.
If you're going up a surface and you use hover, it actually rockets you up a hill really fast. Because you are technically pushing yourself up off of the ground and also moving forward, so you kind of get the...
Yeah, like I said, I've heard a lot of people loving the skin. Like I think it looks like it dyes beautifully. I mean, it has nice fading and
it looks really good. Yeah.
It's just, yeah, I don't know if I could ever warrant buying something for and that's the thing. I'm not really in the market for the 2,000 gem mount skins. So even if it is super nice, it's like, it is the skimmer skin. Like, am I really gonna, like, is that gonna be the first one that I would buy one for or try to go after? Is the skimmer one? It's like, so for me, while it looks nice, I couldn't see myself spending for it. Yes, and like we said, it is in an uncommon drop for the Black Lion chest. That still is putting potentially money towards it at a risk. Yes, it's 2,000 gems or a chance from the Black Lion chest.
Daylight robbery. I don't know. I'm probably not gonna get it. If I get from Black Lion Chess, cool. I think I've only bought one. I've only bought a mount pack, and I bought the Shrine Jackal skin. And that, I think the Shrine Jackal was just because I wanted it. And I think the mount pack I bought on a sale. So I'm pretty good. And I've only gotten one. I got the Gecko skin out of the Black Lion chest. So like literally any other skins I probably get was from Black Lion chest.
And chat, you're saying how we do have a water dragon coming at some point. Yes, but it is also the deep sea dragon. Guess where a skimmer can't go? Deep in the water.
But they can go across the water the best.
Okay, so if we have a WoW style expansion where it's all underwater, are you literally gonna go up to the surface, so straight up to the surface, get on your skimmer to go faster and then go back down, or are you just gonna make a straight line to the target?
Obviously they'll have an underwater mount, so that will use the
but it won't be the skimmer, which would negate the
No, you have the skimmer to get from land to large bodies of
Oh,
water.
so you're literally going to use a different
And then
mount so you can.
swap-
Okay.
Exactly. There
My
you go.
mistake. You're going to use a different mount so you can use that skin's mount.
And they make more money, 2 for 1. Right there.
Oh, I'm sure you're winning the fan base over right now with that sentiment, Age.
If
You
people
can
like
spend
mount-
more money. How great is that?
People like mount skins. I cannot.
Oh no, they.
deny this.
Yeah. And like I
Well,
said, this
we were-
is beautiful.
Hell, when they announced the mounts, we were like, I can't wait to see the skins for the mounts. That was
Yeah.
on this show.
Oh yeah, no, but I think everybody was aware of it.
Yeah.
We also said we couldn't wait to see the roughly 600 to maybe 800 price point.
That's what we said. It
Once
would-
again, you can purchase this for 2,000 gems or a chance at the Blackline chest.
Yeah.
I mean, the armadillos. Oh, we'll get to that, but they do go on sale like 4 to 6 months later.
And are you know what? Speaking of which, let's get to the returning items and talk about how much on sale they are. So returning items: the super hollow copter glider combo. Ugh.
There you
700
go. You did it.
gems. So it's a backpack, but also a glider skin. So definitely pretty cool looking. Definitely check it out. The Rune Crafters Salvage Omatic for 600 gems. The Tremor Armadillo Roller Beetle skin, which I think is what Age was talking about, for 1,500 gems, which is 25% off.
Still
Still pretty far away from the.
It's pricey. I would buy
Yes.
that for if it's a legendary skin. I use legendary as in legendary. I probably buy it if I like it, and if it's on sale like that. Because I bought the mount pack. I bought the exosuit mount
Okay.
pack for that price because
Mhm.
like I didn't want to buy it 2K, but like 15, it's like yeah, that's better. So I'm not buying the armadillo skin. And
If you like the armadillo, get it now.
yeah,
I also see that's
Yes.
the thing is I don't think this one sold as well in the first place because I don't remember the Grand Lion Griffin skin going back up for sale.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
remember
they
any-
made
I don't think
some of
it's
them
ever-
came back
Isn't it?
for sale.
Yeah. Oh,
But,
you're right,
um,
Magnus. They do need a char bike skin for the roller beetle, and that'll probably be the next 2K mount skin for it. And I might actually buy that. And I'd
I
be
would
okay
heavily
with
consider it. But also returning is the Desert King backpack and glider combo for 700 gems and the winged headpiece for 400 gems. So
The Desert King one is like the Scarab backpack that has the wings that come out, right?
I'm pretty sure.
no, it's a different one.
To the wiki. This is why we have a wiki.
I think it's an actual glider.
Backpack and glider combo.
I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah, no, this is the one that looks like the beetle,
oh really?
the reliquary back. Okay, it doesn't look like a beetle, but it's got the stylized hieroglyphic beetle wings.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, kind of matches fitting because the throne is the Desert King throne.
Yeah, because I was saying like it matches the chair. I don't remember it having a scarab.
It's kind of more like the style like the Anubis, but it's like wings. It's like a goal type wing thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I definitely agree with Chat. Char bike skin for the beetle and a Doliac for the Warclaw.
Like I honestly think the if they animate the Doliac sweep for like the Warclaw pounce, it needs to be like the Doliac like doing the stomp spin as it like whips its butt around for the finisher. Like that's what it needs to be.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. And with everything else, the Blackline chests updated to Light and Darkness chests. Guaranteed mini blue skimmer pup, one Blackline statuette. You can also get a chance at any of this stuff. Uncommon chance of Etherbound package. One skin from the Keepsake weapon collection. So if you need your Keyblade still, there you go. A rare chance at the Glyph of the Scavenger or a glyph of bounty, or a skin from the Chaos Weapon collection. So, are you going to try to go after any of those? Maybe while you're going after the Hummingbird Skimmer skin, if you're going that route.
I'm building a PC. I really can't be wailing right now.
You're not going to buy another like 500 Black Lion?
I missed the sale during PAX. I was so sad. So sad. So sad. But no. Yeah, I'm not going to go for it this time. I'm probably like maybe like later on I'll buy 50 keys or something like that, but I'll probably wait for a sale if anything.
So just wait for him to say that, and sure enough, a week later, ArenaNet will have a sale for him that you can pick him up yourself.
After I build my PC.
Exactly.
After.
But yeah, we didn't really have much for community corners, so it looks like that is it for this week. Jim, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter at MouthAnisMMO. You can also find me here on Wednesdays for Vote to Kick, where we talk about various things in the gaming industry and whether to keep or kick them. There will be a new episode this week. We're moving to a bi-weekly schedule since I'm also streaming Minecraft, of all things, the Chronicles of Florida Man, going back to the swamp spontaneously throughout the week. Eventually, I'm going to record stuff and put it on YouTube, probably after I get past a bunch of the boring stuff in the early game, because as much as I like some of the other YouTubers that I watch, like the early game stuff is just buh. So hope to see you all on Wednesday, and I will see you all on Twitch sometimes.
Awesome. And Age, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at Age98Road. I streamed Borderlands pre-sequel yesterday. I just wanted to level up, but I actually beat up the game, so yeah, that was a thing. Tonight I'll probably stream Warframe because that was what people asked. So super happy. But yeah, I'm trying to get back into it. Right now I'm streaming on weekends as much as I can. I'll try to get back into weekly when I don't feel like passing out when I get home after work. So yeah. That's all.
Yeah, always take care of yourself. That goes to any streamer or content creator. Don't kill yourself over that stuff. Take care of yourself. Awesome. And you can find me at simply_Deo on Twitch and Twitter. And finally, I think getting things settled around here. So hopefully I'll be getting back to streaming. Probably Warframe. Probably. Oh, and for people that were wondering, when Age said he was going to play Warframe, I was doing the Hercules. I'm so proud. But anyway, if you are just popping in at the very end, do stick around. We do a bit of after show, but we will do a shorter one because we are going to actually go afterwards offline to have a little bit of a meeting and for the future of the channel and stuff, and hopefully that'll eventually we'll have some more announcements for people.
We're now a Five Nights at Freddy's Twitch channel.
Well, no, we're a Minecraft channel. We've already established that. You're starting your Minecraft series. I potentially might have one in the works. Yeah, we're totally Minecraft.
Or at least no way.
But yeah, so but yeah, if you are just popping in, if you want to watch this in full, we do highlight it on Twitch. That'll usually be sometime on Saturday night. I usually highlight it. If you want to watch on YouTube, if that's your preferred platform, we just put it up on YouTube, just youtube.com/MAADrealms, 2 A's in the MAAD. Same with Twitch, twitch.tv/MAADrealms, 2 A's in the MAAD. But on YouTube, we put it up on Sundays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. If you want it all in one nice little cozy package, our website, MAADrealms.com, 2 A's in the MAAD. That's where we put the video up. That will go up on Sundays as well. And also the audio version of the podcast, if that is your preferred method. You can listen to it there. But that seems like it is that for this week. And we'll see everybody next week and in the game. Good night, everybody.
Good night, friends.
Bye, guys.